What is the most NSW thing you have witnessed at a party? Halloween night. After drunken truth or dare. I walked in on my so's brother and cousin going to town on each other. Edit, neither of them were involved in the drinking. Well then, that edit sure changes a bunch of S_hit. I have a friend who I introduced to another friend one day, and one of them gets really agitated when they meet. A while later the other one pulls me aside and tells me oh yeah he hates me. We went to high school together and I had a threesome with his girlfriend and his sister. A while back I was too young to be at a party and this girl ran out of one of the kitchen buckets, started twerking on the wall. Her boyfriend rushed into the room, literally picked up his GF and started to carry her to his car. The whole time they were walking to the car she kept yelling about how she couldn't wait for the D_it tonight. I was 14 visiting my 19-year-old cousin. I wasn't ready. This dude I know brought his girl to one of our parties and she got wasted and got up on the coffee table and started stripping for us. He was a kind of passive type too, so all he did was just kind of sadly plead, "Baby come on, baby, come on. What are you doing? Get down from the table. Please. Baby." It was really sad but she ignored him and gave us a strip show for like 45 minutes. Our CEO had a Super Bowl party at his new giant house for all of the company employees. There was probably 30 to 40 people there. As the night goes on, everyone is pretty drunk and he's the type of guy who loves to party and is handing out shots all night. Then one of the new guys we just hired can't hold it anymore and pukes on the back patio. Crowd freaks out and the CEO walks up and tells him if he will eat it off the ground, he will pay him $100. Puking guy looks at his disappointing look on his wives, and then turns and says he'll do it for $1,000. CEO busts out $1,000 cash. I guess he just walks around with it. A spoon appears out of nowhere and he proceeded to eat it off the ground. Crowd freaks out. CEO tells him he would have paid him $10,000. Worst part is, Monday morning the CEO fired him saying we can't work with people that would do something like the WTF. A cast party for the theater department at my university lead to an OG, 4 guys 5 girls. Knowing high school theater kids and seeing all these wild stories on Reddit, I'm pretty convinced that there are just a bunch of theater kids going on the internet spreading the word on how crazy and crossed up the theater kid life is. I went to a party right out of high school and was drinking with some friends. There was a girl that got super effed up but was somehow still functioning, and there were some dudes inevitably trying to hit on her. After a few hours, I'm fairly drunk and end up getting tired, so I figure I'm about to pass out on the couch until drunk girl sits next to me. She tells me she's horny and that we should FCK. I'm like yay okay, I've got a condom. Sure. 5 minutes of fooling around and she stops me and tells me that in order to FCK her, I have to tell her that I love her. I sat there for a moment and responded, "But I don't love you." This apparently broke her heart because she ran off to the other room and I was just kinda left there stupefied. A minute later I hear people yelling and freaking out. I walk in the kitchen and lo and behold drunk girl is face down in the floor, dress up, no panties, with liquid S_hit erupting out her ass like some kind of white trash Krakatoa. The smell was foul, and I didn't stick around for the cleanup. I went to my car and passed out until about 7 a.m. and went home. Final year of high school, at a party where everyone was really wasted. Like, the stupid drunk you got before you understood limits. One girl couldn't handle it anymore, so she pulled her jeans down and started beating on the couch in front of everyone. Was dark and I don't know if everyone really noticed. Wasn't like those videos where everyone stands around cheering. But then the dad who owned the place walked in and it got kind of awkward. Good party. Elaborate. Went to a topless party in college, as in a party where guys and girls were shirtless. After doing a jello shot off of a stranger's boobs, I told my friends a few doors down about the party. They arrived just as most of the girls went into a back room to get high, and a big bearded man decided to show off his Jacob's ladder by making it a bottomless party. My friends didn't trust me for a while after that. There's always one guy having a bottomless party on his own. Had an outside party at an old house of mine where a rando passed out on his side in the middle of the driveway. The 8 or so friends who'd come with all let him sleep and the party continued around him. Eventually someone yells my name and points at the passed out fella who's managed to get his D_ick out and start peeing while still on his side. At this point everyone outside has stopped what they were doing to gasp at this turn of events. After a while he begins to slowly lean backwards and the arc of piss gradually goes higher and higher into the air. Finally he makes it all the way onto his back and the angle of his pecker is just right so that the remaining piss hits him right between the eyes. Half the party was disgusted and unimpressed, but the rest had plenty to bond over for the rest of the night. TLDR passed out dude pisses on his own face in front of an audience. Edit everyone asking if this was in their city is hilarious. Y'all are effed up. At a party in a huge house on the lake that had a second living room upstairs. Walking up the stairs I could hear all this commotion going on. As I enter the room there's this guy smashing a chick on the couch, doggy style, right there in front of everyone. He was getting high fives from other guys and people were just standing around watching and cheering. Well, a few years later, I get married and at Thanksgiving dinner with my in-laws when my brother-in-law brings his new girlfriend to meet the family. You guessed it was her, same girl that was getting smashed on the couch. Well, he ended up getting married to this girl and now every time I see them at a family get-together all I can see is the image from that night at the lake. Some dude passed out in the corner of this apartment party and there was a dude crouched over him trying his hardest to hit on his head. He couldn't do it so nothing happened but I wondered if I should have told the passed out guy what he tried to do. But then again, if someone tried to hit on my head when I was passed out I wouldn't want to know about it. Friend hired a PR stit day for his b-day party and she proceeded to bang any guy who wanted it. None of them even knew, they all thought she was some chick who was visiting from Georgia. They still tell the story like she wasn't a PR stit day. Was she paid beforehand or did she keep book and left a receipt later? She was paid by my friend. Some chick was having a house party while her parents were out of town and she was in her teens. Invited like half the school. She was a typical stuck-up B_I_TCH that didn't really have real friends, just a bunch of fake ones. Anyways, this one guy is having a good time being reasonable and she doesn't like him, so she has a bunch of people just starting to treat him like S_. He then gets told to leave and he's like, I gotta use the bathroom first. And there is currently all bathrooms occupied, so she tells him to leave, he can't use the washroom. The dude that said, oh there's a urinal here, and proceeds to punch a hole in the wall and pisses in it. Edit, added a few words. Her parents. I was at a Halloween party in the last year of high school, where two friends of mine had a threesome with a girl in the bathtub while one other girl watched. That's how my friend lost his virginity. Happened at my house. Girl came over, got way too drunk, took off all her clothes and started masturbating on my stairs and then on the couch and then back on my stairs. Then she fell down said stairs. We tried putting her to bed before all this went but she kept coming back out, each time with less and less clothes on. Eventually we all just kinda ignored her and let her do her thing at it. I just wrote this out for her. We tried putting her to bed multiple times first. Each time she came out she had fewer and fewer clothes on until she was naked. Then she started doing her thing. Imagine putting on a show like that and getting ignored.